Ladies and gentlemen, Marco Montemagno.
Allora, uno dei peggiori
Okay,
applausi di benvenuto
one
della
of the
storia.
worst
Aspettate.
welcome applauses in history.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Now wait.
Marco Montemagno. Come on! Ok. Posso fare una confessione? Allora,
Can I say
sono
something?
un po' in imbarazzo.
So I've
Spiego
got
perché. Io vivo da
quite
18 anni
embarrassed.
di
I've been
internet e
living
ieri ho
on the net
incontrato
for
uno
18
speaker.
years now,
Quindi
and yesterday I
alcuni
met
ospiti li
our
ho
speakers,
incontrati
some of our
ieri e
guests. I
mentre
met
ci
them yesterday,
parlavo
and while I was talking to
pensavo,
them,
caspita,
I
sono
thought,
veramente all'anno zero.
wow,
Sentivo un bambino.
this is still year zero.
Io,
I'm
18
still like a
anni,
child.
ho intervistato Jeff Bezos,
I've
Steve Ballmer
interviewed
di Microsoft,
Jeff
il
Bezos,
fondatore di
Steve
YouTube,
Ballmer,
la mamma di
Microsoft, the founder of
Goldrake,
YouTube, the
veramente
mother of Goldrake,
e poi mi ritrovo a
anybody,
parlare
and
con
then
delle persone che ne sanno
I meet
così tanto più di me
some people
che
who
mi
know much
sento
more than I
imbarazzo.
do, and
Come
I
posso
really felt
spiegarvi?
embarrassed. Have you ever seen the film
Ok,
Gravity?
parlavo con uno degli speaker,
One of
giuro,
the speakers,
dico, ma Gravity,
and I swear it,
si parlava del film,
we were
dice,
talking about
quello inventato
Gravity,
io,
the
ho detto,
film, the movie, and he said, well, I invented the technology
poi
in Gravity.
parlavo con un altro
And then
speaker,
I
e mi
talked
parlava
with
di
another
questi
speaker, and he was talking about these 3D molds, 3D prints in real time
gli aerei, insomma, in
on
continuazione
planes,
incredibile.
these sort of things.
Sapete,
That was
avete presente
incredible.
quella frase che dice
So
che
you
siamo
remember
la
the sentence
media
when people say
delle
that
5 persone che
we are
frequentiamo
the
di più?
average of the
Siamo la media
5
delle
people
5
we
persone che frequentiamo di
know the
più. E
best?
la cosa secondo me interessante dell'evento di
And the most
oggi è che abbiamo la
interesting
possibilità
thing
di
today
toccare
is
con
that
mano,
we can
di
really
frequentare
experience
alcuni
and
personaggi che
see
davvero hanno
some of the
suggerimenti,
people that really can give
idee,
us
un sacco
suggestions,
di consigli.
ideas,
Quello possiamo
concepts, a
fare
lot of advice and
nostro, no? Alla
recommendation,
fine dei conti
things that
un'idea
we
è quella che
can
ti cambia. Uno pensa
really
per
make our
migliorare
own,
ho bisogno
something that
di idee.
changes you.
No, per migliorare
Sometimes
magari
you
me ne
think,
basta
well, in order to
una
change, I
grande
need
idea.
1,000
Anche
ideas.
perché
No,
poi non
no,
si
just
può
one idea,
a
one good
pensare
idea
in
is
grande,
enough.
pensare in
Because the
piccolo
difference
si
between
sconta,
think big
no?
and think small,
Oggi cerchiamo di pensare
well,
in
it
grande
just
sui temi
takes the
della
same effort.
mobilità.
So today we try and think about mobility and not just that. Are you ready?
Grazie alla
You want to
parola,
start?
facciamo il
Okay, one more applause, spontaneous applause. Okay, okay.
Partiamo.
That's enough,
Allora,
that's enough. Let's start.
confessione numero 2. Gli speaker
Confession number
che mi
2.
hanno chiesto sono
All
americani
our
e
speakers come
gente
from the
che
US,
per
come from
muoverli
America,
non so come ha fatto Piaggio,
and I really
perché per muoverli
don't
sarebbe
know
più
how
difficile.
Piaggio
Ieri mi
managed
hanno
to
chiesto
have them
come sarà il
here.
pubblico
And yesterday they
domani.
asked me, what is the audience like to be
Pubblico
tomorrow?
caldissimo,
And I
caldissimo.
told them, well, they're going to be really hot, really hot.
Per non fare
But I
figuracce
haven't got a
più
clue.
domani.
So
Facciamo un test, va bene?
I
Ci
want
sono studenti in sala?
to come out wonderfully. So
Wow,
let's make a
ok.
test. Any
Come
students
mai?
here?
Non
Okay.
studenti in sala?
Non-students?
Ok, allora a parte che si potrebbe fare un dating
Okay.
con studenti
We could
che
have a
fanno
speed
la
date.
abbiamo già trovato
So like a student
Piaggio
and a
fast
non-student.
forward, 600
Piaggio fast
lavori.
forward and
Questa
600 new
fila,
jobs. Okay.
voglio
This
sentire
line
il
here,
vostro miglior applauso.
your best
Benvenuto
applause,
per
your
un
best
vostro
welcome
miglior
applause for one guest.
Ok, questa fila miglior
And on
applauso.
this side,
Ok, vabbè,
okay,
siamo quasi.
okay.
Proviamo.
So we're almost there. Let's try all together. 1, 2, 3.
Va bene, va bene, va bene.
Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad.
Non mi
We can
fate
do
fare
it.
figuracce che se no dico, cioè, Negroponte, voglio dire. Cioè,
Hey, we have Mr. Negroponte here, a real legend. So our first guest, our host, person who really wanted to organize this thing, please help me welcome Roberto Colaninno. Hi Roberto and welcome. Good morning. Thank you very much for being here. It's a real pleasure, great honor, and I'm very happy to see so many people here. I got 10 minutes to speak, and usually I don't speak for a longer time than the time that has been assigned to me. But today it really would take one whole day to tell you everything we've done, all our feelings, emotions, all the anxiety that we've gone through to be here today. To talk about one thing that, like all big concepts, was really triggered by one simple thing. Henry Ford said, the most difficult things to do are the simplest ones, or the easiest ones, and he was right, because one day we met with 3 friends, not at the bar, not at a cafe, but we began talking about Piaggio, what would happen in the future, how we would move around, what we would do, what our strategy would be like, and we had some big expectations, but also some big concerns. Our expectation was, well, if we do things together, we can do extraordinary things. We can, maybe we shouldn't even mention them, otherwise people would think you're crazy. However, since those are things that will take place in the future, for sure, and it is very hard to think about these things and also to make these things, you're always afraid, you're always concerned that you will never be able to make it, that you can make things that will never be feasible. And people will tell you, what are you looking for? Are you looking for the moon? Are you looking for something that's not there? Are you wasting your time? So I built on my personal experience and I put all my courage in there. I didn't waste time. I thought about things. I accomplished them. When I was thinking about them, most people said that I was crazy, and maybe I was a little bit crazy, but in actual things, it was really worth it. It was wonderful. And if I were 20 years younger, I would make many more of these things. So I said, let's work together. You are better than I am. You've got an extraordinary mind, an extraordinary brain, wonderful experience. And let's start making a flying bike. Well, some people may think that instead of talking sports, we are talking these things. But this was actually what we were conceiving, what we were trying to conceive. The brainstorming was like that. Let's think unusual things that will be there in our future. And you are the makers of your future. And I really hope that Piaggio will start exchanging experiences with you. That will be the central core of Piaggio Fast Forward, which we established and which we set up in Cambridge, because Cambridge is really the heart of technology, is really in the heart of the future, is really in the heart of people who made experiences that we haven't made so far and that we can make. So that's why we've decided to set it up in Cambridge. We have this new idea, working together, being around the table, being together, thinking, studying, analyzing. And maybe we can conceive ideas that no one has ever had before. Maybe simple ideas, difficult ideas, successful ideas. Let's try and imagine a few things. In 20 years' time, Shanghai, well, there will be 80 million people in Shanghai. So let's think. We can give you some ideas, we can give you some clues, we can give you some concepts, because then carrying them on is part of the history of our civilization. This company stems from a wish we had, but also because we want to start talking with you, with all young people, and hoping that we are right. We hope that you get this, that you carry it on, that you develop it, and we hope that this will be, for us and for all the people who will work with us, a chance to be happy, a chance to make money, a chance to have fun. And yet another piece of evidence that the future should not scare us. The future is wonderful, the future is big, the future is positive. The future is not simply issues and problems. What we're going to see is something that will make us rich if we want to get it, if we want to develop it, if we want to carry on with ideas that will benefit everyone and not just some individuals. And this is what we want to do. This is what I hope that all the people that will come after me will better describe, to tell you exactly what is the size of this crazy project that we've started today in Milan in front of you. Some friends around the table, and incredible friends, talking about things that will happen in 10, 20, 30 years, and what we can do to face these things that will be here in 10, 20 or 30 years. Just think of the past. Think of what happened 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago, and what is the situation now. And we will be visionary enough to think that the ideas that we're working on today will really be there. The future will be different. Things are changing, and you will be the main players in there. So thank you very much for being here. I really, really hope that you will enjoy the meeting, and I hope we can get some big questions, even some criticism that will help us get to our goal. Thank you very much. That's perfect, that's perfect. Please, don't leave, Roberto. Stay here with me. Just 2 minutes ahead. That's a real miracle. Can I ask you one personal thing? How have you managed to convince some of our illustrious guests or some of the people in the board? How did you manage to convince them? Well, if I speak with Mr. Negroponte, well, it's not so easy to convince him. So how have you managed to put together this team of Avengers, as I call them? Well, this is basically what I said before. I've always had some radical ideas. And one radical ideas come together with enthusiasm, well, they make people curious about them, so I managed to raise their curiosity. And speaking with them, I noticed that, and they noticed that they were even more curious than I am. They really wanted to know more than I do. So Roberto Colaninno, thank you very much. We'll meet again at the end for the conclusion of our day. Now then, to introduce our next guest, I would like to show you a video that really summarizes what Roberto has just said.
For 130 years, we've been changing lifestyles, innovating, redefining traveling, and even winning a few things along the way. This has given us a broad view of what mobility means in the world now. Today, we fast forward in time to see what the future looks like. Metropolitan expansion, cities merging, creating huge sprawls and a complexity of transportation that will affect everyone. We see circles, wheels, curves, lines, grids, boxes, stacks, webs, things that walk, run, fly, drive, float and hover. We also see tangles, crosses, knots, swirls, funnels, fences, gaps, hurdles, round holes and square pegs, dots that don't connect and stop people in their tracks. We look at the micro and macro. We see smaller problems and bigger problems. With the power of diverse minds together, where culture meets design and industry, we try to imagine how people will move in the future, to anticipate their needs, expectations and issues. Opening the way for new possibilities, infinite possibilities, shapes and ideas. Ideas that travel further than people. Ideas that will help people travel further.